Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So, today we have a battle against Jose, random person offline. So yeah, looking at his team on the right there, looks to be very strong, very well balanced team there. Looking at mine, it looks to be the same one, or it is, I should say, the same one that I used in the last game. So, what do I want to lead with in this one? I think... How do we want to play this? I think we're actually going to lead with the Barraskewda in this one. And we'll go ahead and see how that works out. Alright. So, he is going to go ahead and lead with the Meowscarada, kind of as expected as we led with the Barraskewda. So, we're in an interesting situation because we do naturally outspeed this thing. However, if it is Choice Scarf, it will obviously outspeed us. So the question is, do we want to find out if it's Choice Scarf right away or not? And I kind of want to, actually. I don't really want to lose Barraskewda, but at the same time, if we can get that information, that might be helpful. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and try to fire off a close combat here and see what happens, as he actually does outspeed us. U-turn going to change him to Protean, going to change him to a bug type. We actually can survive that with 5 HP in the red, which is incredible. He gets the pivot out. We now know he's going to be Choice Scarf for sure. And he's going to go ahead and come in with the Rotom Wash as we go for the close combat here. And that is going to take this thing all the way into the red, but unfortunately it does survive. We do take a round of defense drops, and yeah, no leftovers. So now we have a little bit of a choice to make here, because I kind of don't want to lose the Barraskewda, but at the same time, I don't know if we really want to switch something in on this Rotom here. So it's going to kind of be a choice. We're going to have a choice to make here. I doubt he would carry double Scarf, but at the same time, we didn't see leftovers on the Rotom, so that is going to be a question. You know what? I think we just go for the close combat again here, as he does outspeed us and goes for the Volt Switch, so it looks like he might actually be carrying double Scarf on this team, which is really uncommon, really interesting. But yeah, that's going to take our Barraskewda out and knock us down to 5, which is pretty unfortunate. But the only good news about this is he is going to have to show first, because he took us out with a pivot move, so he'll be able to bring in something accordingly, as he is just going to bring in the Meowscarada here once again. So I think our best bet for this thing, we really don't have a lot for Meowscarada, unfortunately, but I think our best bet for the Meowscarada is probably... I think it's probably going to be the Flareon, actually. So we're going to go ahead and come in with that. And yeah, I think what we want to do here... actually is we're going to... I don't know if he's going to stay in here, but either way, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for a Trailblaze. So he is going to go for a U-turn. That was kind of what I was expecting. So Protean going to change him to a bug type. Again, that does quite a bit of damage, actually. About a third, which is quite a lot since we are max HP. But he is going to get the pivot out again, of course, which is annoying. And he's going to go ahead and come in with the Armarouge as we go for the Trailblaze here. And it's not going to do too much damage to this thing, but it is going to raise our speed, which is pretty important. Unfortunately, it's going to activate this thing's weak armor to decrease its defense and raise its speed. and then he's going to go ahead and get some HP back with the leftovers, as we are going to get poisoned from our toxic orb here. So unfortunately, I think the best thing we can do in this situation is just, unfortunately, we're not going to outspeed this thing after those speed raises. So I think the only thing we can really do here is go for a facade and hope we can survive an attack from this thing. So that's what we're going to do, as he goes for a Calm Mind, so that's actually great. It's going to go ahead and increase his special attack and special defense. We are going to go for a facade in return, and that is going to knock this thing all the way down into the red. Unfortunately, he does survive. It is going to trip his weak armor again to drop his defense and raise his speed, and then he gets some HP back with the leftovers, as we do take some poison damage here. So the only play we really have at this point is to just go for the quick attack. He's at -2 defense, so it should be enough to take him out. He doesn't see it coming. We go for the quick attack, and it is going to be enough to finish off the Armor Rouge and knock him down to 5. So Flareon putting in some work here to try and get us back in the game, and that is great. So we do take some more poison damage there, and now we'll see what he wants to bring in response to that. And it is going to be the Electrode. So that is a little unfortunate, because even with the Trailblaze speed boost, this thing is definitely going to outspeed us. Luckily, we do have the perfect switch to this thing in the form of the Palo Sand, so we are just going to make that switch directly into the Palo Sand. We don't want to lose the Flareon for no reason. And typically, this thing mainly only carries electric moves, unless it's Terra. As the Palo Sand comes in, he goes for the Volt Switch. Unfortunately, that is not going to hit us, so we get a free switch there. And I think at this point, we definitely can expect him to not want to stay in on this matchup, so we're just going to go ahead and go for a Stealth Rock here, try to get that entry hazard up on him, as indeed he does go for the switch, and he is going to be coming in with the Chansey, which is annoying, of course. We are going to go for the Stealth Rock here to get the entry hazard set up on him, which is nice. And so, yeah, there's not really anything to do to the Chansey, unfortunately, here, so we really just have to switch. And I think the best switch we're probably going to have here is going to be, I think, the Flareon again. So I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just go back to the Flareon here, see what he wants to do. So there it is. And he is going to go for a Stealth Rock of his own, so that's a little unfortunate. He gets the hazards up on us, but it just kind of is what it is. Not much we can do about that. We do get the Flareon in before we take the chip damage, which is nice, but we do take the poison chip damage. So now we're actually in not a bad spot, because we can go for a Flare Blitz here, and it is going to hit everything that he has left, and or KO everything that he has left pretty well. But knowing that, we could actually go for a Trailblaze instead. So what do we, although I don't know that that's really necessarily worth it, because I think this Guts boosted Flare Blitz might one-shot, I think, everything he has left on the team anyway from the health that it's at. So I think we're just going to go for the Flare Blitz and see what happens, as he is going to get the Chansey out of there, and he's going to switch in with the Corviknight, so that's an interesting one. The pressure is going to come into play here, as we do go for the Flare Blitz, max attack, Guts boost, and stab, all that good stuff, and it is just going to go ahead and destroy that Corviknight in one shot, which is incredible, knocking him down to 4. Unfortunately, the recoil damage is, of course, going to get rid of us as well, and so that is going to knock us down to 4 as well. So we have a double down here on the battlefield. We both get a blind switch in. I think our best option here is probably going to be, I think it's probably going to be the Raichu. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Raichu here, see what he wants to do. He's going to come in with the Meowscarada, unfortunately, as we come in with the Raichu. So this thing is just a menace to us, unfortunately, as we are both going to take some Stealth Rock damage here. So I don't know that we really can't do much of anything to this Meowscarada. I I don't think Raichu can really take an attack from this thing. We don't have a whole lot that can take any attack from this thing, which is really unfortunate. But I think what we might have to do here, we might have to just leave Raichu in here and go for a Choice Specs Volt Switch. But there's really not a lot we can do, so I think that's really all we can do, so that's what we are going to do. He does go for a knockoff, which is unfortunate. Protean going to change him to a Dark type, and unfortunately we cannot survive a knockoff, so that's going to take us out and knock us down 2-3, so that's bad news. The only good news about that is we are going to get a switch in now. I think the best thing we can do here is switch in with the Brute Bonnet, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And we do take some Stealth Rock damage here. So, how do we want to play this is the question. I think the best course of action here is to actually go for a Spore, because I don't see him staying in here, so that's what we're going to do. As he actually does stay in and go for the knockoff, which is interesting. He's going to get rid of our leftovers, which is unfortunate, but we are actually going to go ahead and get a Spore on this thing, which is really useful. We're going to go ahead and put that Meowscarada to sleep, and that might make it easier to take care of, which is incredible. So I think, based on what he has left, I think the best course of action here is going to be to just go ahead and go for a close combat, so that's what we're going to do. He actually is going to switch the Meowscarada outright, and he's going to go ahead and come in with the Rotom basically as fodder, because it is just going to go straight down to the Stealth Rock here, so that's going to take the Rotom out and knock him down to 3 as we go for a close combat and obviously hit nothing. And unfortunately, we're not going to be getting our HP back with the leftovers, so now he's going to go ahead and switch in with the Electrode and take some Stealth Rock damage. So we're in an interesting situation here because with this Electrode, I feel like the only reason he would have brought this thing in is if he's about to Terra Ice on us and go for a Terra Blast Ice. So if we expect him to do that, what we can do, what we're going to have to do, is perhaps go ahead and pop a Terra of our own, terastallizing into a Dark type, and then go for that Sucker Punch, Terra boosted, and hope it's enough to take him out. It's a risky play, but I feel like that's what we have to do, so that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go ahead, and he is going to go ahead and pop his Terra. I knew he would. I'm going to go ahead and terastallize the Electrode, and he is going into an Ice type, so I did see that coming. So he's going to go Terra Ice on the Electrode, as we are also going to terastallize here. And we're going to be terastallizing our Brute Bonnet into a pure Dark type, losing the Ice weakness, although it is really all going to come down to whether or not this Sucker Punch can take him out or not. So we go for the Sucker Punch. It is max attack, Terra boosted. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is going to be enough to go ahead and take that Electrode out and knock him down to 2. So that is incredible. That could not have worked out better for us, and Brute Bonnet putting in the absolute work here to get us back in the game, and that is incredible. So now he's going to come back in with the Meowscarada. He's going to take that Stealth Rock damage, and we really just have to hope that he stays asleep here. I think there's one turn of sleep guaranteed. He has not burned a turn of sleep yet, so we're just going to stay in here and go for the close combat. He does stay asleep here, which is absolutely incredible for us. We're going to go for the close combat at max attack, and that is going to get rid of that Meowscarada. We do take a round of defense drops, but more than worth it to go ahead and get rid of that thing and knock him down to just one Pokemon. So Brute Bonnet is putting the team on its back in this game, and that is incredible. So his last Pokemon here is going to be the Chansey, so he's going to come in with that, take some Stealth Rock damage. Now we have to be very careful here because Brute Bonnet is our last physical attacking Pokemon. So I think what we actually want to do here is we want to get out and save our Brute Bonnet. I think that's what we want to do. So we're actually going to go ahead and switch into the Palo Sand here so we can reset our defense drops, but he's actually going to go ahead and forfeit, fearing that we might have outspeed him and take him out with a close combat. So We actually are going to get the win there, 3-1 against Jose. But that was a really good match, actually. High octane, highly competitive game there. At the end, looks like he just pretty much accepted his fate, and knew that the Chansey was not going to get past the Brute Bonnet there. We were just playing it safe, although I probably could have just stayed in close combat, and we probably would have outsped the Chansey and taken that thing out, but that wasn't quite a risk I wanted to make at that point, just because it seemed like an unnecessary risk. But it didn't end up mattering anyway. So, but yeah, just an all-around good one there. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.